Australia's Prime Minister, on a big campaign to woo young voters, is taking a novel approach to campaigning. I'm Deborah Kahn. Joining me is reporter Enda Curran from Sydney. Okay, Enda, I have to admit, I've seen some of these pictures, so-called selfies that Kevin Rudd is taking, and it looks a little bit odd.
It's certainly novel, Deborah. He's using his secret weapon, which is the selfie, the phenomenon of the camera phone taking photographs of yourself. And what he's doing is he's working the lines of young voters in particular in shopping centres and at schools, and is posing for selfies, in one case up to an hour at a time, posting them on Instagram and Facebook and the likes, and getting an overwhelming reaction. So it's going well for him, but on the other hand, the opposition are a bit sceptical, and they say Australia doesn't need Kevin Kardashian as leader.
Well, I'm actually curious how the young people in Australia feel about it. Like, I know with my kids, when I try to pretend to be cool, they think I'm so uncool. So is it working?
You know, we spoke to quite a few of the people who took photographs with him, and they said, at least in one case, a guy said it influenced how he would vote. And the younger demographic makes up quite a chunk of the electorate here, and they're typically left-leaning, so they would typically vote for Kevin Rudd's Labour Party. And he's harnessing the power and the ability of social media like no other election that we've seen in Australia. And outwardly seems to be working. He's got over 1 million followers on Twitter versus around 200,000 for his Conservative rival, Mr. Abbott. So he's leaping ahead in terms of the state of social media. But whether or not all of these people chasing a photo turn into voters remains to be seen, I guess.
Okay, so we're just now a few weeks away from the Australian election. Any predictions out there? What are the polls saying as to who's in the lead?
Well, Mr. Rudd, as you would recall, came back in a storm in June when he deposed Miss Gillard, and he brought the Labour Party right back into contention. It's still a pretty tight election. He's narrowed the gap dramatically on Mr. Abbott and the centre-right opposition. But at this stage, opinion polls would give a bit of an edge to Tony Abbott. He's ahead on some of the key issues like managing the economy, border security, that kind of thing. Although I wouldn't be a betting man, I would say he has the advantage at the moment.
Okay, so what's the most important issue, would you say, to the youth? I mean, what's the job market like in Australia for young people today?
I think the economy is the most important issue. According to a survey by a university here, they say that it's back at levels last seen in the global financial crisis among voters. They're worried as the mining boom slows down, it's going to mean less jobs and less revenue flowing through the economy. And the flip side of that is the government has to borrow more to pay for all of their programs. So the economy is front and centre for all the demographic age groups here, and none more so than the young people leaving college who are trying to get a job for the first time.
Okay, so in a few weeks we will know just how cool Prime Minister Rudd is. Thanks very much, Enda Curran, joining us from Sydney. For more on that story, you could go to WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kahn.